Okay, I would love to talk to you for a few minutes about a message I call Altitude with Gratitude. Altitude with Gratitude. Now, did you know that Thanksgiving can actually raise the dead? That it can actually bring the dead back to life? In the book of John, chapter number 11, there is an interesting story about Jesus and how Jesus brought Lazarus back to life. And in John chapter 11, verse 43, the Bible says, "And Jesus lifted up his eyes and said, Father, I thank you that you've heard me, and I know you always hear me." And after he had said these words, he cried out with a loud voice, "Lazarus, come forth." And the guy who had been dead for 4 days immediately came out of his tomb. You see, this is one of the greatest miracles that Jesus performed. Lazarus had been dead for 4 days when Jesus brought him back to life. Now, will you agree that death is indeed an extreme problem? Having no money in the bank, being sick, being humiliated, being booted, being dumped, being embarrassed, failing in life and failing in your exams. As bad as they seem and sound, they are not as bad as being dead. But what I want you to say is this: if Jesus, in the most extreme of problems, shows us that the solution is still, Father, I thank you, then how much more should we thank God in the midst of the less serious problems we face? You see, if Thanksgiving can bring the dead back to life, then let us give thanks in spite of the negative circumstances, and we'll see the victory. Unfortunately, we always have a tendency to do the exact opposite. We murmur and complain, but murmuring and complaining only magnifies the problem. Thanksgiving, on the other hand, is a language of faith which pleases God. Now, I'm not saying that we give thanks for the problems we face. You don't just thank God for everything. We don't thank God for sickness and disease. We don't thank God for poverty and lack. We don't thank God for guilt and condemnation. We don't thank God for sorrow and anguish. We don't thank God for adversity. No, we thank God that He's our answer, and that He's already provided every blessing to us, according to Ephesians chapter 1, verse 3. I was watching an interesting movie the other day, and there was this guy who nearly lost everything he had. And one day he looked into the heavens with a heart full of sorrow and anguish, and he said, "Lord, I have too little to be grateful to you for." And I wish I was in that movie. I would have told that young man, "Thank God for the little you have, and it will multiply." You see, Jesus thanked his Father for the 5 barley loaves and 2 small fish, a little boy's lunch, and he saw it being used to feed more than 5,000 people, not counting women and children. And incredibly, there were 12 baskets full of leftovers. And notice that when the Holy Spirit talked about this event again, he specifically mentioned the Lord giving thanks, the place where they ate bread after the Lord had given thanks. You see, the Holy Spirit seemed to be more concerned with the act of giving thanks than the miracle of multiplication with the 12 baskets full of leftovers. Beloved, the more you thank God, the more you please Him. Whatever little you have will be multiplied. And if there's anything dead in your life, it will be brought back to life. Remain ever grateful. Life is a privilege. It is not a right. Gratitude, gratitude, gratitude. Then altitude, altitude, altitude. You'll never drop in altitude unless you drop in gratitude. May the Lord bless you. We'll see you next time.